Caroline, for holding on. So, welcome and thank you for joining us today. My name is Rosalia, and I am usually the host for this Development Impact Conversation webinar series that we've been having since last year. This is our third iteration this year, and I won't introduce our speaker, but I'll let Kolis introduce himself and give himself a bit of background. So just for housekeeping, any questions that you may have can be posted in the Q&A chat, and then we can either respond to you in real time, or if not, we will answer it at the end of the presentation. But do feel free to jump in and ask questions, or if you'd like to make a comment, raise your hand so that we can unmute you and you can join the conversation. So without further ado, thank you so much, Kolis. We'll let you take over.
Yes, thank you, Rosalia, and thank you, really. Thank you, Caroline, for joining this webinar. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Kolis. My surname is Rua. I worked with World Vision for almost 6 years in the water sector. Mostly 4 years I've been doing monitoring and evaluation. 2 years doing a bit of project management. We will dive straight into the presentation. Basically, this presentation for the webinar for this year is webinar number 3. We will be talking more on the monitoring, evaluation, and the focus on water, sanitation, and hygiene was in the community development. Objective of this webinar Could you hear me, Rosala? Yes, the objective of this presentation is by the end of this webinar, participants should gain an understanding of mWater as a tool in undertaking monitoring and evaluation of WAS. And they will also be able to apply some basic hands-on experience of mWater. So that's basically the overall objective of this webinar. I will be presenting in the following outline. Slides 4 up to 8, I'll be giving an overview of mWater, its key features, and the applications in development work.
Hi, sorry, we're just having some technical difficulty. Kolis will be on in a little while.
So, hello. Yeah, sorry, Caroline, for that technical problem. So I'll just give an overview or outline of my presentation this afternoon. I will be presenting in the following outline, slides 4 up to 8. I will be talking on the overview of mWater, its key features and applications in the development work. Then on slide 9, we will do a bit of exercise. But for now, since we don't have a lot of participants, we will put forward the exercise for our next session on mWater. So basically for today, we'll just go through just basic overview, high level features on mWater, and then I'll just give a brief of snapshots of what World Vision has been doing in PNG, and then after that some questions and answers. Okay, so before we go into the mWater, I'll just give a brief history around mWater and how mWater came into be. As you can see in, I think 2012, there was mWater came about through a social enterprise in Africa, I think in Tanzania. A few women, they got up with an idea about monitoring water quality, and that's when mWater was, born. That with that concept, they developed a tool to monitor just the water quality within that certain district. So after that, USAID and different partners, they saw that mWater was a platform that can be, enhanced, and then extra features were built into the mWater itself. So mWater is basically an open source, and it's free to anyone to be used. Until in 2019, mWater has reached a lot of users and a lot of people and a lot of interest, gain interest, especially in the wash sector and with the development partners. So in 2019, our government, the government of PNG, through the Department of National Planning and Monitoring, launched the National Wash Policy. And with the National Wash Policy, they wanted to come up with a monitoring and evaluation framework for that policy. So they adopted mWater as one of the platforms that can be used as that framework to monitor and guide the implementation of the wash policy in PNG. So basically, mWater has two main components, the portal and the surveyor app. So like I said in my brief introduction, mWater was a platform that was basically just developed to do monitoring of water quality. But then after that, there were added features that were added to it. So now mWater is not only a monitoring or surveying tool, but it has other features like, data management. It's now as its own database where you can manipulate data. So as you can see in the diagram there, there's a portal and there's a surveyor. So in the portal, you'll have, you need to plan, you train enumerators, you deploy the survey, and then you clean data and you do the reporting there. And in the surveyor, you will see that there's a collection of data and update and response. So you can see that there's a loop between 1 and 2. So that loop shows the overall cycle. So it feedbacks into the portal. On the right, you can see I added some uses there. So in component 1, you can see that there's an administrator who is the overall has the overall rights to the data and can manipulate and can manage the data in the database or the portal. And there's a manager. His role is basically under the administrator, but doesn't have some rights over the administrator. And the viewer has a viewer rights only to the data or anything that is within the portal. In the surveyor component, it's basically the users, and these are enumerators or field officers. And these field offices enumerators can be, further classified or rearranged into teams based on whatever assignment or task that is done in the field. So we will continue with the presentation, and then probably later on at the end of the presentation, we'll get some questions and answers. This next slide, I will just go through some features, basic features of mWater in the portal. As dashboards, and the other tab you can manage site approvals, documents. I'll just go through just brief overview of the surveys. In the survey tab, when you hit the survey tab, you will go through the creation of the form, the survey form itself. And also if someone shares a form with you, a survey form with you, you can also access that through the survey tabs. In the maps tab, that is where you will find a map of water systems, water points, sanitation systems in the community. So basically this map is to provide you with an overall overview of what has been done in a community. For example, let's take a community as community 1, which has 20 households in that community, and you will map out the 20 households having water systems in those 20 households. So within the community itself, you will identify that as per your projects that you're implementing in that community, there are only probably 20 houses that you've done some interventions around establishing water points. But initially you surveyed that there were 100 houses in that area. So in this map, you sanitation. For dashboards, that's where you can create graphs, you can create reports based on the survey that you've created. And then you will see that there are issues and indicators. Indicators, one good thing about mWater also, you can import indicators and measure indicators using the surveys. And there are also consoles. Consoles, you can develop consoles. Console is more or less like a database for WAS. So consoles, you can develop consoles also in the mWater platform. Now I will go through the mWater Surveyor app. So remember in my previous slide, I discussed around the 2 components. One was mWater portal, which is the database, which I just went through the main features, and now I will be going through the Surveyor app. So these two communicate. So the Surveyor app is where you will download the app on your phone, And that's where you collect information or data from the facilities, institutions, or the people. So you can see basically in the diagram there, you'll see the basic features of mWater. There's a home tab, there's a survey tab, there's a add button there, there's a map and settings. And you can see that to access once someone shares a survey with you or deployed a survey and shares with you, and you want to access that survey, you go through the survey tab and you click the survey tab, you will find the survey that is been deployed to you. Or you can also go through the add button and get the survey from there. The map is basically to show you, for example, if you are in a location and you want to find that specific house or that specific community that you're working in, you click the map and it will bring up the hello. Hello, Rosalia. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. The next slide is about the key uses. I've gone through the basic overview of mWater, the features. Now I'll be going through the uses. So, like I said, mWater is not only a monitoring tool, but you can also manage and write reports using the mWater. So, some of the basic uses: create and conduct a survey. You can analyze data, create tables and graphs. You can use mWater to create dashboards. You can produce reports. It can be used as a monitoring tool. You can monitor something that you can monitor over a period of time. An example is a sanitation facility or water point. You can measure the functionality of a water system or water point. You can create maps. It can be a useful tool also for planning and implementation of projects. Like I said in my introduction, because initially we started the presentation with only one participant, we decided to have a more in-depth session on mWater in our next episode. And we decided to have this as just an overview of mWater and raise some of the expectations for the next session. So we will skip the exercise and we'll continue on to the next slide. So the relevance of using mWater. Like I said in the previous introduction, mWater was adopted when the government of PNG was developed the National Waste Policy. And through the National Waste Policy, they decided to have mWater as the main framework to monitor and evaluate the projects. So after 2019, there was they rolled out the National Waste Policy, and they also rolled out mWater in PNG and also in the districts. So the government wanted to have all the district waste plan being adopted to the MTDP 3 and MTDP 4, and also with the policy and aligned with the policy, they decided to have mWater to have a more data-driven plan for the districts. So that is where they adopted mWater. And as you can see in the diagram there, you can see that that's the national government was MIS, and mWater is at the center, which informs, you can see the diagram flow there. It informs the districts, and the districts informs back the MIS with correct data on WAS, water, sanitation, and hygiene in the district. And that's where NGOs, through the government, there's a lot of NGOs that are implementing also the WAS. So they are registered under the National WAS PMU. So WAS PMU, I'll just give a brief overview of WAS PMU. WAS PMU is a project management unit under the Department of National Planning and Monitoring. So the WAS PMU is a body that monitors and coordinate a lot of the WAS projects in PNG. And they are the one who manages mWater and manages the database like the MIS. So from this MIS, you can see that it informs the planning and informs policy and planning, and it also informs the parliament, the government. So that's the significance of mWater. World Vision, we also contributed to mWater in a lot of the activities that we do, and a lot of the projects that we've done in the past. Up until now, we've contributed to the MIS. So this next slide, I will go through a bit of snapshot on what World Vision have done using mWater and what we've contributed to the National WAS MIS also. I'll stop sharing this page and I'll share the other. So on the screen that I've shared, you can see that that's World Vision's mWater Hub. It's called the Global mWater Hub. And World Vision PNG, this website is live. So any information that is added now, you will see on the hub. So as you can see, what we will do, we'll go straight into our PNG. Sorry, I have a connection. Sorry, I I'm having problem with the connection here. While waiting for this one, I can show the one for the WASP PMU, the one where we contributing to the national government. So can you see my screen, Rosalie? Thank you. As you can see, that's the national MIS, like I've mentioned. It informs the planning and monitoring and also the government. So you can see in there, there's a whole lot of tabs. There's instructions, there's PNG documentary library. You can find documents there like policies, MTDP4, necessary documents, the policies and the district plans for, I think, 17 districts. Currently, we have 5-year district plans for 17 districts. There's rural community WAS, there's WAS in schools, WAS in school census, and the WAS in healthcare facilities. And you can see here if there's a new project registration and finance tracking, that is for new projects. When new projects, if an organization has a new project and wanted to, they request WAS PMU to register and they track the progress of the project. Sub-national WAS investment prioritization tool and the MIS accreditation database. So I'll go through just overview of the WAS in school and the WAS in healthcare facilities, just to show you some the overview of this MIS. So now I am in the WAS in school tab. As you can see, there are a total of 1,179 schools that are in this database. And this is possible only if organizations are registered on the platforms, and this database captures only projects that are registered on the MIS. And we'll go through some of the information. I just want to go through just the SDG, the indicators. As you can see, the drinking water SDG level indicated 3.1 proportion of schools with an improved drinking water source. As you can see, there are 179 schools registered. There's 49% that they access improved drinking water. For basic service level, you can see that there's 36% out of the 1179 schools. There's 12% limited, and you will see that 40% of the schools have no service at all. So basically, this mWater measures or monitors the coverage based on the SDG level, and this is also tied to the SDG 6 2030 the government plan to achieve universal coverage in. Okay, so that's basically what mWater can do. Unfortunately, like I said, we should have gone into a lot more into some exercises, but we'll put that for the next session. I'll stop sharing and I'll go back to my slides. Okay, I think we've come to the end of our webinar. We have time for questions and answers. You want us to go through it?
So, hi, Kolis, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So I think because we skipped a very integral part of the presentation, which was the simulation exercise. I think we've got some time, Kolis. Maybe you want to run through the simulation exercise with us. So we're just going to go backtrack a bit and go through the simulation exercise because we've got 11 people that have joined us. So thanks. I'll hand over to Kolis.
So thank you, Rosalia. So we skipped the exercise bit. So we'll go back to our slide. We'll go back to the exercise slide. I've got an exercise that I was thinking we could do together. So I don't know if anyone in the group has any experience around mWater already, or any experience around any survey tool. But for now, I would like us to all, if you don't have any mWater account, I would like us to register, because mWater is a useful tool. It's not only used in WASH, but you can also use it in other discipline also, in health, education. You can either use it for, to do your surveys, or you can also use it to, monitor something that you would like in your workspace. So I would like us to just do a registration. I'll give 2 minutes. I'll let Rosalia share the link, and you can click on the link. If you're on a computer, you type that link into the computer and we can register together. So I'll go through the registration while waiting for Rosalia to share the link. I'll switch my screen back to the mWater portal and we'll go through the registration process together. We will have to register first, and then we'll go through the exercise. Yes. Yeah, so for you to register or sign up, you go through the Okay. I want us to register first. So please go on to this the website that I highlighted, mwater.co/hashtag and then sign up. Or you can type mWater and then go to mWater portal. We will go through this. So fill in your details. If you are in the page already, you fill in your given name and family name, and then your user. Your user can be a name that I recommend you put your initial of like my username. My name is Kolis. My surname is Rua, so I use KRUA. So you follow through, and then you add your password, your email address. I prefer using your Gmail address because when you use your company email address, you will one day leave the company and then you lose your data. So use your Gmail address or any other address that is permanent. And then you go to confirm and you sign up. So when you signed up, you can indicate that you've signed up. So once you signed up, you'll go into the page that I'm in now. So please type into the chat box if you are into this page where I'm at. I'll give you guys 2 minutes and then we'll proceed on. If you have logged in, please indicate on the Q&A chat. Thank you, Nixon. We'll wait for the others to log in also, and then we'll go into the main exercise, which we will be creating a survey. Thank you, Stanley. So there's 3 participants that is logged in. Let's wait for the others and then we'll continue on. If you're a new user, you will have to confirm. Go back to your Gmail and then you confirm your registration. Got last 2 minutes. Okay. Let's proceed. If you have logged in or if you're trying to log in, we'll proceed on with the exercise. You dropped in. Rosalia has dropped in the survey questions. So you can see that in the survey poll, those are the questions. I would like us to go through the survey now with the go to the survey in your survey portal. Go through survey. You can follow what I'm doing on the screen. Click surveys, and then you create a new survey. Please follow through what I'm doing on the screen. You go to new survey. You title the survey. So let's say it's a practice. Survey. Yeah. Okay, those questions that Rosalia posted in the survey poll were supposed to be the one that we will enter into this survey design. So can we copy from that and just paste here? So what I'll do now is I'll share the screen that the survey questions that Rosalia shared on the chat. I will share these questions on the screen, and then we can use that to create the survey design. Okay, thank you everyone for participating and answering the poll. What we will do now is we will take these questions and we will deep dive into our next. We'll use these questions as a bridge to our next session next month, and we'll deep dive into mWater and we'll explore more features on mWater. So what we were supposed to do is we were supposed to create a survey design, and then we will deploy the survey design to specific enumerators or specific users. Our username. The survey
Sorry, Kolis, you got cut off of there. If you could just repeat the last one, the last thing you just said. So do you want all the participants to go and create an account? Perhaps what we can do is create an account. So for those of us that are interested to further deep dive into mWater and its applications and its uses, what we will do is we will have a second session to this that delves into the uses of the application when it's deployed, with a real life scenario of the questions that were shared. So we do apologize. Kolis has just dropped offline and is joining us again. He will do his closing remarks and then we'll just give an overview. We'll just ask for any questions if there is any at this time. So Kolis, are you back with us now?
Yes, thank you, Rosalia. I dropped off. So basically, today we just go through an overview of high-level overview of what is mWater. Unfortunately, mWater has a lot of features and a lot of things that need to be discussed, in person. So today we just went through a bit of overview, and then we went through, setting up accounts, and then we went through the relevance of mWater and the uses and basic features of mWater. So in our next session, like Rosalia mentioned, we will look through the survey questions that you filled in, and then we'll deep dive into mWater, into creating a survey and then deploying it, managing surveys, creating dashboards, and those are some of the features that we will go through in our next session. So thank you, and I'll take some questions. There's questions.
Thanks, Kolis. Please feel free to raise your hands and I can unmute you if you have any questions for Kolis, or if you want to just type it in the chat box, we can take the questions there. Thank you, Nixon. Please go ahead, unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you, Kolis and Rosalia, for a very good presentation on mWater. My apology for joining with us late. Know the question, but I just wanted to know our next session. When will be our next session? Thank you.
Sorry, Nixon. Your volume is a bit low. Could you please speak up a bit and please ask your question again?
Sorry, my question is when will be our next session? Is it next week, after week, or after 2 or 3 weeks?
We're hoping we can coincide the next session with our next webinar, but what we do want to focus on is those particular people that are interested in the mWater app and its uses. So in the lead up to the next seminar, it'll be an intense focus group. And what we'll do is Kolis and I will work out a phased approach where those that are interested do need to register at the portal, at the link that Kolis advised of. And once registered, we'll need to create a subset of questions in the portal, which we will share. And then we will actually do a live activity exercise. So it's not really, if you don't register for the, the exercises leading up, then you might not be able to fully participate in the second session. So it'll probably be at the end of next month, as we do with our normal webinars. Thanks.
Thank you, Rosalia.
Thanks. Is there anyone else that has a question? Okay. Well, I've given you a link to Kolis's LinkedIn profile. Please feel free to go and follow him or network with him on LinkedIn as well, and you can ask him questions there. What we will do is in the lead up to the second part of this webinar, we'll be focusing more so on development sector participants that are interested in the mWater and its application. So there will be some lead up into the next webinar, which will be a live use of the mWater app itself and the deployment of it. So if you are interested, please do raise your hand and let us know if you're of your interest, so we can ensure that you get an invite to the next session. We do have a question from Freddie. and Nolene. So Nolene, if I can just please ask Freddie's question that came in. How are PMU WASH monitoring projects and providing capacity building in mWater training? So Kolis.
Yes, thank you, Freddie. At the moment, WASH PMU as a project management unit, and they have a lead person there by the name of Benjamin. He's the guy who's in charge on the mWater platform, the MIS, and they are rolling out, currently they're rolling out these mWater in 17 districts. And if you're interested, I can link you up with the WASH PMU. And if your district or if your organization, if anyone that is apart from World Vision that is on also in this call and is willing to join the PMU, I can hook them up with responsible people.
Thank you, Kolis. So Ray, I do acknowledge your question. If we'll take Nolene's question first, please go ahead, Nolene. If you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Thanks. Sorry. Nolene, are you okay to ask your question, or perhaps we'll just take Ray's question while you're thinking about it? So Ray's asking, are we able to export, import data into mWater? Kolis, please.
Yes, thank you, Ray. It's a good question. mWater, like I said, there's a lot of features. You can import, you can export data, you can import reports, you can import documents into mWater. It's not only a monitoring tool, but it's a database where you analyze data. And like I said, in our next session, we will deep dive into a lot of features on mWater. Thank you.
Thanks, Kolis. Nolene, are you ready with your question? Would you like to ask? You can unmute yourself. Okay, perhaps Nolene's having a bit of technical difficulties. I think at this juncture, oh great, we've got another question from Veronica. Kolis, perhaps you'd like to respond to Veronica.
Yes, thank you, Veronica. Good question. Rosalie, can you hear me? Okay, nice question, Veronica. For the WASH in schools, I think WASH in school, WASH in healthcare facility, and the communities, they're all, institutions and facilities that must be captured on mWater. And for South Delta Fly and South Fly, I know that we have, collected most of the information, and for now, World Vision, we are thinking of digitizing a lot of our monitoring, especially in WAS. So we will be, like I said, mWater is a progress monitoring tool, and schools are a part, they can be progressively monitored over a period of time. So we can monitor the, accessibility to water, to accessibility to sanitation. So yeah, your question, like you asked, we can capture that in mWater. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kolis. I think if you're interested in the mWater and its applications, perhaps it would be a good opportunity during this second session in part 2 of this follow-up to join us so you can have a live viewing of the application of the app itself. So for those of you that are particularly interested in mWater and its applications, please do let us know. If not, I will be sending out a general inquiry interest email to all of our normal participants to see, to gauge your interest. Okay, I'm really sorry about that, Nolene. We are having a bit of unstable internet at the moment, but I think for all of us here, and we're able to hear each other, and it might be just a delayed receiver, but we do apologize. What we can do is upload the presentation to our normal website, YouTube podcast site. So please do download or listen to it there. But I'd like to say thank you very much to Kolis, our presenter, for a very insightful presentation on mWater, its application, its uses, and some of the experiences that he has had with it. I would also like to say thank you to our attendees for joining us this afternoon. And for those, like I said, for those of you particularly interested in mWater, we'll be doing a follow-up webinar next month, towards the end of the month, on the live usage of the mWater app. So we hope you can register, get yourselves ready, and create your own surveys so we can use that as whilst going through the uses of and the customization of the app in the live usage that Kolis will do in his presentation next month. So I think with that, we are about at 3:15 this afternoon. Thank you very much to everyone. All of the resources from today will be available at our YouTube podcast site. And we hope to see you in the next series of mWater, which will be towards the end of next month. Thank you so very much, everyone, and have a lovely afternoon. And we'll see you next month. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.